we had to watch these two managers on the field of play from the 2000s. Eba, Ekolo represent Manchester United. Now Ekolo solo represent the club Arsenal. Fast forward, you want to down win now will take to the touch lines and some of the golden ages of Manchester United players are all changing them. Obi and the wabe manager, MIKEL CARRICK no make win Macrooney. Nkafuni na from Kasper Schmeichel, that is Peter Schmeichel, about to Gary Neville, one for Pabia, a Chua village in Ferdinand, and only Patrice Evra. In film, for it was all in Hargreaves. Right-sided winger, win Macrooney and on so Jinema. Wumi be anyone they also if you Papa no offer that say Alex Ferguson one. Now what they baby ye coaches are was in Ejina Brenny. And I want to say maybe I all about Walker maybe some questions. But these are the two players I want to go to the tutorials now watch from say Alex Ferguson and on Arsene Wenger no what they are better managers for Arsenal and United respectively. Now talking about coaches. No me interest lie with how are both sides. Obotuna was set one up. And Arsenal, it was the usual suspect before the game on Saturday review no and a preview no. Me mention the Arsenal kita full house. It's not much how ARTETA no with the selection headaches are Obenya into the game no Obotuna way play. And on the bench, he was able to bench a bit the Christian Mosquera, Benjamin White, and Mosquera started against Inter Milan no Mumu or bench Mosquera, Ben White, Eberi Cheze. Gabriel Martinelli, Victor Gyökeres, Noni Madueke, MIKEL Merino, and a Mars Louis Kelly. So the players never put to no bench no, and I'll bench these qualities of fellas. Nelly start to beat the prayer in Capi as the left back. No Gabriel Saliba, and Gabriel that's Magalhaes, and on Nigeria Timber. In film for Martino, the guys will be mainly declaring rights because Saka, Gabriel Jesus Leandro Trossard. And I mentioned the United line up here selling that on Facebook page. More catcher wind and conflict depth. They are spoiled with choices. Don't know parade this first level numpono or Sansu kita qualities as far as the bench is concerned. At when I watch Manchester United, it was the goalkeeper in similar mess, no them. We look so Martinez, Maguire, Dalot, Kobe Menu, Casemiro, Ahmad, Bruno Dogu, and other Brian Bueno. And the Monday, all continue from the setup of the Shea Club, no from the Manchester City. Papa Nan Fanensanka. Papa Nan says, Ubia. On the bench, he had Mazraoui, Mason Mount Kunha, Malasia, Lenuru, Ugati, Heaven, and then also Benjamin Sesko, all being on the bench. Now, Mamo 4-3-3 for Arsenal. United, you this is 4-2-3-1. But some Manchester United will build the app, fellas. Ever Spice 91.9 from Facebook, selling the highlights about to no one saying national demo. And we are entering the little details. And a corner MIKEL CARRICK, Otuna also pretending over United, while Bernard Wallace share Arsenal 3-2 at the Emirates Sports Stadium. Team in a 4-2-3-1, fellas. Say, will build it from the back now. A bona na Arsenal will defend. I also want to know a 4-3-3, but will defend with the 4-1-2-3 formation. Honestly, that to know. And with this one, now Arsenal will defend anytime United will build from the back. No, that is just to have a bit like Casemiro. And the can rise not track around the day. Mama near the midfield or the central regions penetrations. Because United strength in a 1-0, I want to be a Casemiro. What was it on the man of the match? Kobe Menu had to play the best of the games in the Manchester Sheds this season against Manchester City or Mfimfimobi. The highest assist creator in this season's English Premier League was from Bruno Fernandes no or Mfimfimobi. To MIKEL ARTETA no prevent the central regions penetrations from Manchester United. It's mostly someone from the back. Lily needs cements no kita ball no. A bone need to central defenders no. Lisandro Martinez and Armago will be making the edges of the 16-yard box. Another 6-yard box. Will be Marco no. Or then you'll be from the middle. Obotuna wa withdraw no wa babaji passes no. No wa turn the defense into attack. And I wa transit to the half of Arsenal. And this was idea and the Ruben and Morin Felix. No ya didn't Manchester boys no Obotuna wa. So United kita ball. Especially with the goalkeeper, another defenser, the next player over Babaji ball no what 10, no what transit and fellas, no or lack of confidence. Also, the Ruben and Moms say compare, no a 3-back. 3-back no Obia no Fin, no Babaji ball not transit out corner. It was one of the central defenders, mostly Matthias Delete. And then the Matthias letting by the ball on 10 and Matthias near defender. Only that confidence, only that ball playing central defender now. Or you're very confident to go to the one transit. One a forward passer on your 40. It's one of most in the ball on 10 or 1 and we back and what I was Manchester. But this time around, or you're 4 back, 2 central defenders, no ambiguity. Obi Obabe can wabe the ball in that corner. It was Casemiro and another Declan Rice no track and ran it down. Understanding the children. Declan Rice no. He was tasked. The own close down the boy now from the Casemiro. Anytime United, Obi Onagina will build from the back. And they say, on Oba, the Bonda United 2 midfielders in Kobe Menu and on the Casemiro no. Wow, overloaded on the boy now from the Declan Rice no. And MIKEL ARTETA was torn in between 2 decisions. Now, so I bend them now. Menya the 2v1 me to menya balance in there. Okay, the media Martins will be made to go and support Declan Rice so that the double pivots of United will be occupied. Menya 2v2 and Finfino. Martin Odegaard another sorry. Zubi Mendin so benima. Fellas na kwano bode bi abede nechi. No only free Bruno Fernandes. The media don't go and join. Ja bueno front that is why Declan Rice now got no close down the 2 players. And the Rice was expected. Double to no cover both Casemiro and then also Kobe Menu. Understanding that to know. This is the space not the nature, you know. And then Rice to cover now. A bond the Kobe Menu no hobby. What about all budget ball? Casemiro no hobby also about all budget ball. Now what can the Rice now go thing? Still the 2v1 was disturbing team now fun that is Arsenal no. And Oben Demana Lily Seme just has to exercise restraint on find the options. Memphama Cassie, another Memphama that is Kobe Menu. And Declan Rice now got confusion AC. Onum so on left to so on right to. Oko Declan Rice that is why Casemiro wa. No the one am Kobe Menu. Oko Kobe Menu one the one am Casemiro. And I adore her club and the warfare that is why Arsenal pa and say Boni Nyabe the leader of the double pivot wope. A bone the press from Arsenal no it has been broken. Then Arsenal had to stop the 4-1-2-3 press no. I feel the one result to 4-4-2. One keep 4 defenders, 4 midfielders. And 2 attackers in the attack. And 2 attackers, no. It was Martin Odegaard and then also Gabriel Jesus. And Arteta, the man also shared the quote, fellas. He had a reason. And now it was Spice 91.9 from Facebook, no. And he declared that is why the captain Martin Odegaard and only Gabriel Jesus. While occupy Harry Maguire and only Lisandro Martinez, who are the 4 and 5 of Manchester United. When the 2v2 United penalty box, Nimu, another penalty box, naturally pay. The one is our press to not do what if you or your pressure or your chance now will be creating what I'm a team of an Arsenal. So that is the 2v2 in the half of Manchester, especially around the penalty box now. MIKEL ARTETA also should call the 4-4-2 no to no Then MIKEL CARRICK had to also counter. Only counter because when you 2v2 which one only the only draw the left back in Luxor. Don't back and the 2 central defenders. No, yet 3. More by Arsenal will be 2 and only the defend a balance no. So a 2v2 I will defend any balance. So a pa I will defend any balance. Say one extra man. Let's open and occupy 1-1. Let's say could free on the defend a balance. No, then Luso had to join the 2 central defenders. Something like a 3 back. No finger that depth or balance no in Nangas and a half. Arteta and that. Also can't tell I've been already draw because there. Don't go and support the right back. I feel also be winning never count the press and then also the 1v1 markings. No, anytime a United will try to overbuild from the back. So it was the tactical interchanges throughout the first half. An example of that press, no, Ebola Gabriel Jesus and a Martin Odegaard will press the 2 central defenders of Manchester, Harry Maguire, and on it. The other one in Licha. I want warrior 2 men. I asked now to do 2 men deba. Then Luso was part of the defenders in the Ebunde Asehade with the aggressive press. It was because I can all contract the run or Bueno Fono. That is why he looks on. Just to make sure that Arsenal won't that to make a disadvantage of Manchester United have. So opponents press with this attitude. Nevertheless, a new confidence, a new vim, a new composure. And that is one of the things that MIKEL CARRICK overnight. I don't know where you got it from. Or the other Camboys in the game. How was what relax, what find the spaces, what keep your ball until they will bring your one. No one, madam, final personal. It is one of the things that MIKEL CARRICK or the other Katima, what from the Manchester United. And fellas, okay, the Buma. A bonde with the press na madam weni mo no the double pivot of Arsenal because my catch one social call 4-4-2 the double pivot no now one also will close down the two midfielders of team Manchester United and Casemiro no Kobimenu. Understanding that to tell you on Spice Night 1.9 from Facebook. Attack on the press, it was backed up by the double pivot of Arsenal. It won't be a decline right. That is Martin Zubimendi. The one called Gina Kobimenu and on the Casemiro one do. Still, United won that. And one the Bruno Fernandes no big game number pa because they had Arsenal double pivot no wobo nima. E kon baba be de wonechi. Obi all but 10 for Manchester United no. E with Bruno Fernandes. On the move around the zone 5 one. And fellas in Bruno. The mama number 6 be on closing down in the zone 5 or your abundance of chances no be create. No wonder he created a chance or resulting in a goal. And we get there and I'll explain to you properly. It's our way on Facebook. That is the space for Bruno Fernandes. It will be Bruno Gina because Arsenal two midfielders now in the wall cover Man U double pivot no wabo nenu we jekwana to nature. Arteta saw this thing and was done so react and reaction no or can we be in the Manchester City and a Pep Guardiola in the club and Wale Brepan because before this time in the same year there a club like City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Bayern Munich we used this approach and what about Brepan now opponently the zona marking. No one man oriented markings no. Inti I want so one players no where you're confident power with the ball. Inti Jawan na the zonal marking and they can take you on or find a space to put a very dangerous attack in or a pass in there. But this time around, what then man to man oriented markings. Inti say any the opponent no number 10 mpo free a man would defend an engineer. Nse yesu so no say yele bobo na say opponent na ba eso obi amfa 1-1 na defender kulinye free meboa badama den sisi oni ago nim biem obi afa bi nti Bruno Fernandes na example say sele no to do mo a ebondo all draw William Saliba Arteta mpene dem de ne central defender be free aba opponent ne number 10 no ono ogina ho double pivot wa akọ for opponent na midfielders. What are you doing back there? Blenaba for number 10 no. Nti Bruno William Saliba dey be wa draw na bebedula. Nti our K center circle. Yes. Our K Arsenal na Bayern Munich game no was share Bayern Munich no. Dem na wo draw that to Pamecano no mo out of position. Ebi na do san so tru wa hade no. That is William Saliba na nka center back den ka be there center circle by this time. Onye da wuti na okita bolo United no won the ball ne dey ba. And on no drawn out of position no na Gabriel Magalhaes no so Matthias Cunha no so draw no e Matthias Cunha no fell in attack here den ababo na oye trum no hin ndo gina the next moment ababo ana san trophy and ndo gina adebechi no gina oye ibu adenche e wona the next second we to ekogina
sana Cunha ne ti
no mbwenu Brian Mbuemo no said that and Cunha Mpombe. Trum on confusing the defenders of Arsenal. Inti Bruno Fernandes no draw William Saliba no. Even Saliba wa tra be Man U hafa. E so hono nso na Gabriel that is Magalhaes no. Ono so kan Brian Mbuemo no do. And the mobility with which our dear moye no fellas it was causing havoc to club na in the warfare no Arsenal no. And say a draw Saliba and on Magalhaes out of position na. Then about committee space behind the lines or in between the lines. About committee pa. I want a Patrick Dogun who big game no fellas. That was a very tactical game. Say be up and coming coach. Na ko share game ni be na enko ye ge na mebe to na that na sel kusua den da. E be a lot to take away. E be a lot to take home. Into what draw central defenders na aba no. Na e kono so ba the hoda ma Patrick Dogu. And I wasn't surprised then that na olutum no only that goal no. And I will go and defend that time when I get there. Now, this was what was happening in the middle of the park. And then now no obiele ntum goal. Because now the midfield penetrations or central regions one no be I tried over preventing there. Now to the flanks, Diogo Dalot was used. And say the outing of Dalot against City was poor. And the optimum no better no. And that I was okay with Diogo Dalot. And this was no instructions from Michael Carrick. Se Diogo Dalot no United rebuild na solution no back central defenders two no we nyatre back you they don't come back move upfield or United do o chire Lenny Semens no botu no wa long and so call longer obotu wo locate awo obotu wo locate Bruno obotu wo locate Brian Mbuemo and so no konenima Felix no create space that ma bueno fa na ma de dialo no on get invented on blame mission finfin nti bonde example is selling that today dialo no wa benenim all force and all allow ma de dialo there on blame no mission finfin because ma de dialo no bo 7 they go dialo no bo number 2 they are on the same axis nti say dialo no benenim Ahmad still can't be there. No, that mad no be finfin. Ahmad be shame Obeka brand mbomo ho. On so bo occupy Arsenal defenders no on the 2v2. On the 2v2. And open them and one out number William Saliba in the central part of Arsenal for no defense no. This was what was happening on the right side. On the left side no so at a point about the Luso no so benenim. Luso no so benenim no force Padrugo there on question finfin. That was what I was talking about. Padrugo ni be finfin no already no send so the brand mbomo and Bruno Fernandes wa atwe na central defenders two na be center circle no nte kwanda onechi nte Lucio no benim no so force Padrugo no so question me na selling that on Facebook page there na anyene kawaba. So no wonder if an touches on the touch map after the 90 minutes that is Padrugo na you know that he was very mobile in defense. He is there. The midfield is there in the attack. Even the opponent penalty box crown. The Padrugo in your chances and then also touches in the box. Touches in the box. So it was down to the Bruno how or not all draw Saliba out of position. Robert Saliba not track the run of Ono. That is why Bruno Fernandes no. Ono bo Padrugo mande or finding that space is in behind him. And tell him one example. Dogu finding space no. Ebonde wa benenim. That is why the central defender of Ono that is Saliba. We bring buka share corner the nature. Hello, Ekwan kakra. Not the Padrugo no running in. No to no try a shot on target. No to no try that's a shot on target. And the power at a point no lead to he getting that goal. No. It was stellar. That invention driving na. On Bruno but the 1 and 2 na. Otu that power on target no unfortunately. What's about now but refinally when review because the hand no not the natural position. As now for the fray and they went to know when a review one the Salah goal no. That was when a United were built. Now if Arsenal were also building up now, you can see the shape of Team Manchester United, no a 4-4-2. A team on paper was set up with a 4-2-3-1. Arsenal kita baller. United did not disrespect them. What's our only chicken one pull? Even Arsenal can say United Liverpool wants to run the back. Gabriel Jesus Munya but no defend. So this was the shape of Manchester when Arsenal were building from the back. Now even one of my friends no kwana no one back the press no. Make a back in the press. I don't know if you understand. Say I want to walk the 9 and 10. Will press Arsenal defenders no. This will beat one. Any other midfielders now also will be will support the press no. Was one pull him. So if you beat the first line of press nepa, about the United were a lot of numbers in their half. On and Shane Rebecca wa park a no. But it was tactical. It was technical direction from that's MIKEL CARRICK and eventually all the Broma Arsenals will create some chances because no free can rise one fin. And on all the switch to the left side or the switch beat to the right side na daddy. And United the front two no press Arsenal defenders they were very narrow and up and them now the left back no no to win opportunity I join the attack. Now they can rise in swing space but they on the left side now the left back no work with any major out one no so about for born was start all the transit. And he was mostly pushing out front. But United had antidotes and no answers to all of this. MIKEL the last time I moved ARTETA all about match fellas. Now after the second half, and now if you break up until it be around the 56 minutes or thereabout, no make about 4 changes on the trot. And it was a state of confusion. He needed a point at all costs. Do not do to take decisions. Or the create overload on the right side of United. One that is our football position. One. Me now try a one farm no. And a bone at a point, the sort of players and only one and fellas so defi game. The same game he was substituting Pierre Hincapi. He was substituting Martin Zubimendi, Gabriel Jesus and Martin Odegaard. But depth in no, na players all the one benefit and shiver. No lose through cry. No, elif from anybody now Gabriel Jesus for a victory carriers no ba. Martin Odegaard did film no fellas or in the Eberichi as an oliver. That is the depth on Kofu Okita. But I win our bear still they could not help the club in the war that is us now. Now, young queen, let me credit the goalkeeper in Lenny Semens. I think say United in a moment to be keepers was standing between the opponent and goaler. He's proven to be one of the best assistants now. Because about 2 defensives be one from the header from Martins Zubimendi, and it was a close range. Understanding that the best price 91.5 on Facebook. It was close range. The ball is a win show. Bonam Bowa diet or bed Dinamo de Butuna Para Bona to corner. Basame was able to do this. And send that low shot from Bukayo Saka in the second half. Or targeted first pole, and it was overcrowded. Penalty box no numbers no doors was the block in the view. But still keeper was able to dive and save that one. But then for the first goal now Watson, I'm taking you to the details. This is one of the problems and the United war during the era of that is why Ruben Amorim. And it seems only the Waka credit MIKEL that is Michael CARRICK no so you're being Wedgman. And under the space and a wood that to Martin Odegaard. There was because second while work about now for the rest of the attack. All square born Abre Martin Odegaard and he was free. Before cross Nebeba from Pierre Hincapi and Oboy Chomo, nobody bedu Odegaard one. And because Saka or Odegaard I free. Oliver tried the dribbling and one for pass the ball or the man Martin Odegaard still he was free. And Casemiro no allow with the Mobon Moko could Martin Odegaard because there was Patrick Dogwa no pressy because Saka. Mao Casemiro was there in there. Some I can over and over. Didn't improve pass. No, you who's in Pokita Bonana. In time of business, na Casemiro over there. Major Martin Odegaard war. Na ma kwa Patrick Dogwa when they attack because Saka. And okay now no lay pass no the man. That shot on target no was not perfect. We no born ye, but still. Nigerian Timber no Lisandro Martinez walk born one or deflect off during Timber Mabon or questioning. So the problem in there no the picking of men. Casemiro no went to win and writer. Oja Martin Odegaard walk quite all quaka. Patrick Dogu no will close down because Saka no lead to that first goal 14. That is Arsenal. Now, turn the point now. The press from Manchester United. It is another thing I saw it against him in the Wafano. That is Brighton. I saw it against Manchester City. And then to sounds moving. On no lead to Brandon Mbeumo no go no. Arsenal na wall bread from the back. Chicha passes in the ball. On bone to remain the lack of confidence. On bone and Tamafan come and goalkeeper no ball across to him in Mbeumo afa. And from that distance, me not sure the best play the Brandon Mbeumo by miss. This one. Brandon Mbeumo trenching. Debbie. And I think he's become the highest top scorer in the Oye Cameroonian International as far as the EPL are concerned. His numbers keeps increasing. About 50 plus goals now. Some Cameroonian Internationals be able to mean that number. It is down to him the way to watch up that particular accolade. Never Brian in Beaumont about it. Now he's done it against some of the best clubs or the top clubs in the English Premier League. You can think of, Manchester City, more Liverpool, the others are winning. Now he's added Arsenal to it. I think it is very much good for confidence.
Okay.
Now, Arsenal tactics be you will use with their set pieces. They one line up with before the corner will be kicked. Now we are about to from what trying the mad over and over. I don't know how that is Michael CARRICK was able to apply the brakes on them. When that tactics not right. Corners no obey. Tactics no do way, but one for goal lamba. And before Robert or Conor Abe to around the 83rd minute, they had to go against the status quo. Or go against the tactics. How overcrowd the 6-yard box now. How Arsenal from go to Afrima. And then you offend Pintain. Out the Bobon be penalty box. There the na so call the defender name on clear. One call the defender no but Diane name Babashi. And that time it was MIKEL Merino the fortune more than training him. No little more convert that one into the back of the net. Dinya the equalizer for Team Arsenal. We thought it was done and dusted. Baby Mosha Bonnie could you come peace sport. And I'm a near cowbell on kickers and Kwana Muna Neye. Cowbell literally bet 5 Ghana CD. Fellas go be the 1,000 CD plus. Go away try to around the 80. That is 5th minute. Arsenal in the equalizer. No, you cash out no 70 Ghana CD. Just 2 minutes after. Na Matias Kunya Kabona to at him. Carben in any manji. Carben in any manji. Yet wouldn't pull Biaba. Kajimepe, a bonma, but the Kajimepe goes on the Iska. What's a corner of the 70 Ghana? Well, me from Gume. And a carbe quick cash out. Oh, yeah, cash out na. No Matias Kunya come body on the twatting. But that was a super good for Matias Kunya. I had kickers are not all blaming. goalkeeper David Raya then position in ye. I think then now one no she defenders in Unechi kakra. Two baby na Mates kunya the ball nefa no. Dena or your goalkeeper on the left side one over care the ball that far. Got at least a step or two to the left side probably. Kubutu no abono. And David Raya keepers now once that new rich baby no. Keepers all rich. Ebe you bit the junior room and then sa wall pa. Tibot Courtois, Alison Beckham, Manon Ram, one and son of wall. That is no black mina or rich, but goalkeeper of David Ryan no need that kind of rich be. Mr. Bonner Ben or two no reflex is saving the year better than Baller all very much far away from him. And a Bonner netting. But in the nutshell, you will credit MIKEL CARRICK with the fashion and the manner offered the masterminded that particular win against him and the orphan Arsenal. He's done it over Villarreal, Chelsea, and then Arsenal, Manchester City, and Arsenal baby against them, and he's so calm. I've not heard from MIKEL CARRICK there. He's talking tough or all can somehow Bruno. And I'm very much surprised that Roy Keane there. So many games need to put you at the moment on page money permanently. Fellas, these legends need to check how they say things. And some
pain.
Now one be in the man you cover.
Only by yes.
Check the little details in the comments no. Also there, even if United win every game between now and the end of the season, he doesn't think that MIKEL CARRICK should be given the job. Then I bet DBM knows the measuring cylinder and say what the Juma Mobi. Baby able to do ya matches cray. So we now made the season be still. Me farmer no. I will believe the United need a bigger and a better manager. But United have gotten bigger and better managers who were never able to take the club to the glory land. The number of matches are work out they will this season, fellas. You have just 23 matches, you have budget 2. Many manager will win that number of matches naturally on the trot. Back to back to back to back to back. Now tell you to let to train if ma on about 8 or 7. I send the season about na meboa. Say 38 rather. Let's say that number of matches no. Also really now that the Kosia as still on take box no more the day man. I don't think that is a motivating comment. It is very much discouraging. They have done this. They've made such statements around some managers eventually. No, when 2-1 succeed, we win the light of day. And this is not what MIKEL CARRICK need at this point in time. As a Manchester City, as a Arsenal. Arsenal is supposed to be the best club in the world as it stands now. Having the, top most manager, be now what better one channel. And so lot more quotation and nasi. This company no quotation. In this way to watch Thomas, which asked some of these managers in let's say through the comment able to net dash and in Queen India then Roy Keane has to come again. Now to answer the whole question between the two
you're no quick mommy.
Fellas, I think there's this spiritual woman or D club or fan of Arsenal Onichi. And BBR point to the fact that this is not a one idea. Anything short of that, the personal obey him Hupa. Obey him Hupa. Che was reminding me in the production room there. Nasana Barcelona at a point no truly Real Madrid about 8 points. And then he did demand no 4 more.
It was 4.
It was 4 rather. He did demand the waka call me off 1.
Akawan.
So it seems that I want to likely there. Barcelona move to about rather than Arsenal doing it in the English Premier League. Just now I didn't put 1 or 50, that is 46. And sitting into they are not in the form of their lives. But Real Madrid, they don't know. They get to have their confidence in their food when the season is translating. Yellow Queen, no, the boys will find one rhythm. Atiasa. Point gap
between Arsenal and City.
Yes, I want to see a 4, but I want a 1.
Hey, David. Now, but now go I'm at 15 points. I may have budget though. Arsenal afford.
That's why I started by saying the seems there spiritually. Maybe the Arsenal team in the team. And I'm a Zena maker, they know. In the United, we know win against Arsenal, no, your papa. Man, you name the Liverpool Legy, in the Chelsea Mulegy, City Mulegy. National about Benjamin Bomb Arsenal and General British and National, I would call what their person. I'm not for it. But they are professional, they have to do their job. But for me, from where I sit, and the kind of team Arsenal was share, that sort of matches are in the world pick point day film. I see them the walk ahead now, but so be bottle. Let's say, the whole question of the day or a Barcelona in the La Liga.
I Spice 91.